Bubba O'Neill to talk about our good friend Clint Bubba O'Neill from CHCH TV. How you doing, Bubba?
How do you do? I mean, great conversation about Monday Night Football, because that was really primarily on my mind when I was bouncing around like everyone else in the sports world, and how, and I know it's a tough job. Each one of the three of us have done play-by-play at a high level, and it's a difficult job. And especially on television, where you have networks that have short fuses and short patience, and they want ratings. But I will be honest, I'm kind of underwhelmed with the threesome that are in the booth at this moment.
Well, then you might have missed right at the start. We were talking about that. I was underwhelmed myself. Now, I understand they're replacing John Gruden here. It's been a revolving chair. I said I liked Booger McFarland. I liked his voice. I liked what he had to say. I liked everything about him. But because there are a few people tweeted about him, Bubba, thrown overboard. That's how the networks roll.
They may have been, I know you're saying they're replacing John Gruden. I'd go further back. And then you guys mentioned the original names of Monday Night Football, and you had guys like O.J. Simpson and Joe Namath coming in there as well, too, as guest analysts. But you know what? I think the difference is, let's be honest, I think right now, Monday Night Football is actually Sunday Night Football in terms of popularity and getting the best possible games on network. And on top of that, you can never generate the type of excitement that John Lennon was on Monday Night Football. I mean, you can never generate that type of excitement because it was the only show on Monday night. That's a time when really all of us would get to see one or two games a week. Now I watch Red Zone and I can see every first down, for crying out loud. So I just don't know if you can ever generate that type of love and excitement that we saw back in the early 70s and into the mid-70s and even bridging into the 80s. Times have changed, and I'm surprised the networks aren't really seeing it that way.
Well, man, you're bringing the heat today, Bubba, because, A, you're right. Sunday, what you're basically saying is Sunday's become the marquee game. It's not Monday anymore. But I'm just thinking about back to the day. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Did we even hear that last night? Like, they've ruined it. They've ruined it, Bubba.
Well, and I guess they've replaced the Hank Williams song as well, too, have they not?
Yes.
It's a little Richard. It's a little Richard song that starts it off right now. The Hank Williams Jr. song that what we've become so accustomed to, that's become a staple with that program, is no longer in existence. I think for a second time. I think they pulled him for a second. The first time for a different reason.
Bubba, lots to get to again with you as always. I'm glad to get your thoughts on that, by the way. But moving on to the Hamilton thing, people, I'm not going to take credit for this. Somebody said this the other day, that here in Saskatchewan, people are lost without Rough Rider football. And I would agree. I'll take it a step further. I'm missing Rams, Huskies, Thunder, and Hilltops as well. I am. What's Hamilton going through right now without the Ticats and MAC football and everything else?
It really is. You're feeling it. I mean, this is very much like Regina. Hamilton, I mean, it loves its hockey, loves its Bulldogs, loves everything. I mean, we're a real sports community, so close to Toronto, so we get a reflection of what the Toronto sports can also offer as well. But there's a good local feel, and that starts with the Hamilton Tiger Cats. And them not being there is a real. Well, I drove by the stadium the other day and just had a look at it. And I felt it. I'll be honest. I felt a little something in my heart. It's just like, wow, empty. It's been empty for so long. And really, right now, we would be, as we all know, the second half of the season starts on Labor Day, and that feeling did start on Labor Day. I had to do something at the station on that Monday. So I went back, and we had enough tapes for the last 20 years to find some defining plays from Labor Day, just to give us that feeling of. One, seeing Ivor Wynne Stadium, seeing Tim Hortons Field, seeing Danny McManus, seeing these unbelievable names that we will forever, have Labor Day lore with, and the rivalry with the Argonauts. It's just something that is so special, very much like Calgary and Edmonton, no different. You guys like the Banjo Bowl the week after the Labor Day. It's missing. Now, the MAC thing, too, and I call these MAC games. I'm part of the broadcast crew. And we're the defending Yates Cups champions, with an opportunity with a team I think is going to be even better, which could probably a challenge for a Vanier Cup. That's missing. there is one saving grace in our area, and that was seeing the exploits, even though they weren't close to us. And we had to watch on television and on computer. Was watching Forge FC with their nice little run at the Island Games in the CFL, and then they ended up winning, repeating as champions. So there was a nice little feeling for that. But with all due respect, it's just not the Tiger Cats.
No, I know, and to that, you probably saw Gary Stern came out last week, the owner of the Alouettes, and said they're working on a plan. He thinks the CFL will play in 2021, whether there's fans or not. I have thoughts on that. I mean, I got excited too because I want to see the league back. And I think the fact everybody misses it is actually a good thing. But is the league going to change then? I mean, where's the business model we were planned? Is it going to be this salary top heavy, bad relationship with the players league? Or are we going to see a change? Because we were promised a change, Bubba. I mean, what do you see in 2021 for this league?
Well, when you look, you forecast it, guys, and really there has to be changes. And I know the last time I was on your fine program, I kind of went on a little mini rant saying that the whole salary structure of the league, in my opinion, and I don't mean to say I love players making as much money as they can, but within the confines of the league and what the CFL is, there has to be a rollback of some of these salaries. Mike Riley, some of these guys making nearly $8 million a year in the Canadian Football League. To me, again, no offense to these fine guys, they're amazing athletes, and you should always go out there and get as much as you can on what the market can pay you, but it just doesn't make sense for the league. And you know what? If you reduce the salaries and some of the players say, I'm not playing there, so be it. We'll find new stars. Hopefully, some of them are Canadians. So I always look at it from an economic standpoint and then go from there, because to me, that has been the rotating problem with this league that we have had for 2 decades now. Something about money always seems to come up, whether it's the CBA or salaries or the salary cap or who's breaking the salary cap. It's always about money. And we have to find a way to get that focus back on the field and really have 9, maybe even 10 franchises that are, if they're not all doing well, surviving.
I believe they're working on that. And I don't know whether they should be public with it or not. I mean, they're not public with it, so I'm hoping for the best. Any thoughts on Stanley Cup Final, by the way, 1-1, and also off that Hockey Night in Canada? Because I'm seeing Kevin Bieksa on there saying he's basically a Hamilton guy. Am I right? Is he beloved in that area, Bieksa?
Yeah, he's from the Grimsby area, which is just down the road. I mean, you would have Hamilton as the bigger community, Stony Creek, and then Grimsby. So yeah, I would definitely consider him a Hamilton boy. He's doing a great job, I think, offering his real, lighter side. Obviously played in the league for many, many years, was a good player with the Vancouver Canucks. I think that's what most of us remember him as, a rugged kind of guy. And I respect what he's doing on that panel as that. And hey, Hockey Night, we talk about ABC and ESPN and what they're trying to do with their Monday Night Football crew. Let's not forget that Sportsnet are trying to do the same thing, too. They're trying to remodel this sort of new wave and trying to attract new viewers with some maybe new faces. And some of them are working, in my opinion. Some of them I'm like, I could do without. But I like him on that broadcast crew. As towards the Stanley Cup, I got to be honest with you guys. Tampa, Dallas, 2 Sunbelt teams.
I know.
Again, that was a 3-2 game. Tampa races out to a 3-0 lead. Dallas battles back, makes it really exciting. But you know what? There was just, for the first time since we've been watching these games in the bubble, I missed the crowds. I mean, I have all throughout, but I've really noticed it last night. When teams go on a power play or there's a controversial penalty, it's not feeling like a Stanley Cup to me. And I've always said this about the National Hockey League. For some reason, that first round and that second round have so much excitement to me, and then it kind of dies down to me in terms of its interest. And that's probably because the teams become very, very local or very, very regional. Whereas with basketball, with the NBA, the first round usually isn't that exciting because 1 rarely beats 8. But then the finals are always very interesting to me. So I don't know. I'm kind of in this weird spot. It's great that we got so many sports going on right now, but I'm fighting to stay interested in hockey other than on a professional level.
You are one of the majority. 60% of our viewers yesterday said that they aren't watching the Stanley Cup Finals. I am because of friends, and I'm a hockey guy, really, by trade, but I am not going to scold anybody who's not. By the way, lastly, Bubba, were you part of the Casino Rama grill room back in the day?
Yes, there were times I had with that have been Gareth Wheeler with I wasn't on. I probably was on 5-6 times maybe.
Well, yeah, the reason I say that is one night I was in Hamilton on a road trip with the Riders. I turned on the TV. Did CHCH carry it?
Not to my knowledge. No,
well, it was on some channel. Oh yeah,
sorry.
It was on some channel in my hotel room, is all I'm saying, in the Sheraton, downtown Hamilton. And I know for a fact Matt Cause was on there and Ronnie Lancaster. And I just remember watching it going, this is the greatest show ever. They're just having so much fun. You know what I mean? So I just wanted to tell you that I knew that you were a part of that. And I know that you've been supportive of what we're doing here. I hope this is reflective of the good old days in the Casino Rama grill room, because that's kind of the format we're going for here.
You guys are nailing it. I keep telling people about your show, and we need more shows like this. And, I did a show for 5 years we called it Sports Line with Mark Hebscher. Again, we want to talk. And again, the best part, we're on CHCH, which isn't affiliated with TSN or Sportsnet. So we can say what we felt and probably we're saying what people were saying. And hey, this is sports, right? It's opinions and it's fun, and you're right, you're wrong, and there's a fun element to it. So I think you guys are doing a great thing. I think it's fantastic that you guys are getting more and more, not just so much regional, but you're getting national attention. So keep doing what you're doing, guys. It's stimulating to us sports fans, and even ones that are broadcasting.
Oh, sweet. All right, Bubba, thank you. I appreciate that. Thanks for the insights, my man, and let's do it again soon.
Anytime.
Clint Bubba O'Neill from CHCH Television in Hamilton.
You're watching Rod Pedersen On Demand. For more of The Rod Pedersen Show, visit rodpedersen.com or follow Rod Pedersen on social media.